Hey, my name is Vlad, and I'm really glad to see you on my channel. Welcome. Happy New Year. If you ever watched the news last year, you probably know about war in Ukraine. But what you probably don't know that actually war in Ukraine was going for like almost 9 years. And it started when Russia invaded Crimea, had so-called referendum there, and annexed Crimea and made it part of Russian territory. And actually was in Russia when it all happened. Being Ukrainian in Russia during that time was not easy. And today I'm gonna talk about that. I can share my experience and tell you how was it like being Ukrainian in Russia during Russian-Ukrainian conflict. First of all, I have to say that I was a teenager. I didn't understand that much about what's going on. And I moved to Russia like 4 years before it happened. And like basically all my friends were Russian. I spoke with them Russian. And I was always having this idea that we are kind of similar. We're kind of friends, neighbors. I never was able to predict something like this. I would never thought that Russia can invade Ukraine, or Ukrainian people can fight Russia, or we can even have some kind of conflict between us. And it was really hard for me to even talk to my friends about this, because for Russian people in 2014, when it happened, when Russia annexed Crimea, it was like huge victory. All of them were like, pretty much all of them, like most of them, I would say, were pretty much convinced that it's actually a victory for Russia. They were convinced that people in Crimea actually were dreaming about this for years, ever since Soviet Union was collapsed. So they were watching Russian propaganda, Russian news, and they were really proud about all the situation. So Russian people in Crimea are finally united or reunited with their homeland. And it was like main narrative of what was going on. And situation became even worse when war in Donbass began. I'm not sure if everyone knows, but Russia was trying to repeat Crimea's scenario in eastern Ukraine. When Russia actually failed to do that, they sent a lot of military men just to fight and support separatist movement in Donetsk and Luhansk region. Because Ukrainian army was able to stop them from taking over the whole region, they became like small separatist states, so-called Donetsk Republic and Luhansk Republic, but they never became states, and Russia were not able to have any control over this territory, and Russia was like always saying that they're actually not involved in all this situation. And all this happened because Ukrainian people actually cruel. They're forcing Russian-speaking people to speak Ukrainian. They're bombing people of Donbass and all the things. And if you were watching like Russian television during that time, you can hear all this crazy story about like cutting towns of small children because they don't speak Ukrainian, or crucifixion of small kids. All this kind of like bizarre and nonsense stories. And a lot of people in Russia actually believe that. And unfortunately, some of my friends believe that. And it was really hard for me because I was looking at the situation differently. I was telling them that what happened is not right. What happened is actually a crime. What happened, Russia actually invaded Ukraine with armed forces. And like for Russian people, for my Russian friends, it was really hard to believe me. What was really sad for me that eventually I realized that it actually doesn't make sense for me to try to convince them. And everyone was getting used to what was going on. And you probably know that people are getting tired of news pretty quickly. You probably remember COVID-19. No one ever talked about it like 2 years after, even though COVID was still a thing. So we're getting tired of news. So probably 6 months after annexation of Crimea, people stopped talking about Ukrainian war, even though people were dying there every day. And even now, we're like looking at the war like something new, despite the fact war was going on for years. I was really upset by the fact that everyone is pretending like everything is normal. Like Ukrainian people and Russian people are actually brothers, even though Russian people keep killing Ukrainian people. And it was really hard for me to even discuss it with someone because basically everyone was watching Russian news of some sort. And it's really much easier to believe that your country is victorious, your country is good, your country is fighting for a good cause, instead of starting asking questions. Why would we invade other country in the first place? So for me it was really hard being there, experience all the things, and I'm really grateful that right now I don't have to deal with that. Right now I'm living in the United States, and like basically right now everyone, or almost everyone, even my Russian friends, they actually understand what's going on. But I feel like right now it's kind of too late. I wish they would be able to understand it before. Who knows, maybe if they would, something like this full-scale war would never happen. It's really hard to answer questions like what if, because what happened, it's already happened. But at least right now, people in Russia, at least my friends, they actually understand what's going on. And unfortunately, a lot of them were forced to leave their country, like a lot of people in Ukraine were forced to leave Ukraine. And really, some people wouldn't be able to understand what exactly going on if not all this crazy mess, if not this war with hundreds and thousands of people dying. Because when it's something that you don't hear about, you probably wouldn't be able to understand. But right now, because of what Russia has done, I bet pretty much everyone who left Russia knows who is who. Knows that what Russia has done in Crimea, in Donbass, and later in the whole country of Ukraine, it's not right. There's nothing you can say to justify it. And it's really sad, but sometimes we really need something really bad to happen for us to understand things that were obvious to someone else. But I'm really hoping that this war is gonna be over soon. And I'm talking about this in my other video about 5 reasons why Ukraine gonna win in 2023. If you want, you can watch this video next. Let me know what you think about it. Like how would you feel if you would have to be in your enemy country with people who actually don't understand you? How would you react to bad news that's actually good news to everyone else but you? Thank you for watching this video. I would appreciate if you share it with others and subscribe to this channel. We're gonna talk more about Ukrainian politics and American politics. So if you're interested, just stay tuned. See you in the next one.